So many of us have tried building apps with AI without any previous knowledge about coding. And maybe you've tried Lovable, Cursor, or Windsurf, and it probably went well in the beginning. You can build some basic features of the app, the UI started looking good. But inevitably, you will hit a point where you run into bugs. You're left with a spaghetti of code that you don't understand, and you are relying 100% on the AI to get you out of the rut. Well, I got some good news and some bad news for you. The bad news is that vibe coding isn't really how it's being sold. Yeah, you could build a lot with AI, but you still need to know some basics to build a successful software. The good news is that you can learn it quickly, and what better teacher there is than the AI itself. So in this video, I'll show you how I use Cursor to learn how to code while I'm building a product. So when you open up Cursor, you have a blank folder, and you have the chat feature. The chat feature has different modes that you can choose from. So we have the agent mode. The agent mode is basically when you ask the agent, the AI, to write code for you. The plan feature plans out a feature or something that you want to change in the code so that the implementation is much more precise and smooth. The debug fixes bugs in your code. And then we have the ask feature. The ask feature is used when you want to ask questions without the AI changing the code. And this is the feature that's very powerful for learning. I use the ask feature and I ask the AI to guide me into making an app. So you could prompt something like this. Let's start making an app, which is basically a very simple calculator online. I want you to guide me through the process and make sure that I learn along the way. Let's go. So you could put a prompt like this. So you can learn this way, although the drawback is that Cursor is a software that's made for writing code, not for teaching code. So it's very difficult to make it be slow in the teaching. It's not the best teacher. However, I found out a way to make Cursor an amazing teacher with teaching methods based on science and best practices in the field. So to make Cursor much better at teaching, you have to go to the settings. On the left, you'll see something called rules and commands. So if you ever made custom GPTs or perplexity spaces or Claude projects, you know about system prompts or system instructions. Those are the instructions you give to the AI, making it behave in a certain way you want it to behave. The similar thing is in Cursor as well. Here you have multiple types of instructions. One is user rules. This is something that's applied across any projects you do in Cursor. On the contrary, you have project rules, and they are project specific. For this use case, I like to use the project rules because the rule that we're going to add may not necessarily be applicable to everything you do on Cursor. So we'll add a rule. It's going to be a custom rule. Here you can enter the name of your rule. So I like to call it AI CodeMentor. You press enter. So this is where you're going to paste in your system prompt. I've been working on a system prompt for months and months, iterating on it, and I found a really, really good one that makes Cursor a great teacher. I will paste it in. You will find this prompt in the description of this video, but it goes as follows. You're a brutally honest Socratic tutor. You're an expert programmer named CodeMentor. So you can see here that it has two directives. No solutions, so it's not allowed to give solutions, only to guide you. No sycophancy, which means basically it's not here to please you, it's here to be honest with you. It's going through two processes. One is teacher's thought. This is forcing the AI to be a bit more precise with its thinking and make sure that it's giving me an honest answer and not giving me the solution, but guiding me to figure it out on my own beforehand, which is the best way of learning. It's prioritizing intellectual honesty, the 80-20 rule, which is important because usually there's 20% of the learning content that bring you 80% of the impact. First principles, active recall, which solidifies your memory, and no fluff. We also have some examples of what's good and what's bad. Once you have the prompt pasted in, you can also choose here in the UI how you're going to apply it. You can choose so it's always applied, so every prompt will include the system prompt. You can let it to the agent to decide if it's going to include it or not, or you can apply manually. I like to apply it manually because I don't use this all the time. As I said, I combine the agent feature with the ask feature. You can click here, apply manually, and basically you can call this prompt each time that you want the AI to behave this way. I really recommend this. So once that's set up, we can go ahead and close this, save the file, close the settings. I'll open a new chat, and this time I'll press the @ icon. You can see that there's a cursor rule offered here, AI CodeMentor, just the way we named it. You press on the rule and then you add your prompt. Okay, let's start building a simple calculator app. I want you to guide me through the process. I want to learn along the way. Let's go ahead with that. You can see that the response is already very different. It's using teacher's thought. It's checking for strategy, for code. It's checking if it's giving me code or not, sycophancy. To build a functional calculator, we must first define what a calculator actually is from a data perspective. A calculator isn't just a grid of buttons. It's a state machine. It needs to keep track of certain pieces of information at any given time to know what to display and what to do when a button is pressed. If you were to design the brain of this calculator, what are the minimum pieces of information, state, you think we need to keep track of to handle a basic operation like this? 5 plus 3 equals question mark. Well, I'm not sure. Maybe we need digits, so a place where we can place two different types of digits. Then we need a third state, which will be the result of the calculation. So this is actually making me think a little bit. I'm not a software developer, but I want to learn as much as possible about software development. And for that, you need to start from the very basics. That is a start, but it's incomplete. You can see how honest it is. If you have two numbers, how does the calculator know whether to add them, subtract them, or multiply them? Also, consider the user experience. When you type 5 plus 3, the 5 usually disappears and moves to the background when you start typing the 3. In most calculator implementations, we don't store the result state separately. Instead, we have a current value that's being updated. This is very interesting, and if you think about it, it makes so much sense from the software development perspective. And this is the exact kind of thinking you need to develop if you want to start building real software. So try out this cursor rule. I've learned so much just by talking with the AI about my app. Now, it's true, you don't really build so much this way, it's much slower. So I recommend that you combine the agent feature that writes the code with this ask feature and this custom cursor rule. And this is a great combination to build and learn at the same time. If you don't understand something in the code, if you want something clarified, just use this rule and the AI will make you think through the problem, which is actually the best way of learning. You can find the prompt in the description under this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Follow me for more AI tricks like this. Bye bye.